Well, good morning. It's going to be another really big day building up this pergola behind me. And Heather and I have noticed a lot of questions in the comments lately that we would love to sit down and answer for you once and for all. But first, we have a lot of work to get to. All right, so if you saw our last video, you would have seen us build this basically the entire structure in a single day. So you'll forgive us if we're moving a little bit more slowly today as our bodies are waking up and recovering. But we need to solidify these beams into their beam pockets with stones prior to moving on to the rest of the roof. But before we solidify the beams into their beam pockets, we need to coat them in this special synthetic tar.
Qua mettine tanto, Bradey.
Tanti viti o tanto?
No, tanto che trama qua, okay. Guarda.
Dove?
Vado avanti perché.
Se posso, ma
fai colar giù.
Sì, un po' difficile. So each beam that goes into each beam pocket will have a bunch of these structural screws screwed into the side. These screws will get embedded in concrete and stone. Fai niente? Posto?
No, per le viti, per il sasso.
Ah, sasso, okay. And then the main structural beams here will get painted in the synthetic tar because you see that this is the slate part of the mountain right there, and when it rains, even though we're, I'd say 2 meters below grade here, water will soak down into this area. So we're gonna leave a hole to let it dry out, as well as coat that in that synthetic tar. And all of this carrying up the concrete in buckets and tossing up the stones is giving me nightmare flashbacks to when we built the stone wall originally, which was 1 year ago today.
Oh my goodness.
Non ho capito se era costo attaccare. Sei mai capito, sei tu stato fortunato.
It's wild to think that when we first started working on this stone wall that all of these stones fully covered this terrace. I'd say about yay high, covering the entire area, so much so that there wasn't any room to work or move about. And now we're left with just a small stack of stones here that will mostly get used up in this project, as well as the stone sauna that we're getting ready to start. And yes, on the other side of the house, there's a lot more stones, but those will get used up as well.
Real quick, I wanted to tell you about a skincare brand that I absolutely love, and I'm very excited because they're having some great Black Friday sales. Now that I am well into my 30s, I have been really getting into skincare and learning how to best reduce the signs of aging. I've been using the FAQ 202 LED face mask by Foreo for about 6 months now, and I have seen significant changes in my skin. My skin is firmer, brighter, I've seen improvement in my fine lines and wrinkles, and overall my skin just looks and feels healthier. The FAQ 202 is an FDA cleared new generation face mask. Not only does this mask offer red light therapy, but there are actually 8 different LED wavelengths, including NIR, that are available. Each color can help focus on different concerns for the skin, like blemishes, evening out the skin tone, reducing hyperpigmentation, and redness. Because this mask is made of silicone, it is incredibly comfortable to wear. So whether you are laying down, relaxing, enjoying using it, or if you're up and about getting things done around the house, this is a very comfortable mask to use. No matter your face shape, the design allows for every area of your face to get the same concentration of the LED light. Using the FAQ 202 along with the red light peptide serum is one of my favorite self-care rituals. It feels so moisturizing and great going on the skin. I can tell that my skin loves it. I love to take 15 minutes first thing in the morning. I set myself up with some relaxing music, I wear my LED mask, and I know that I'm doing something great not only for my skin, but for my mental health as well. Right now is a great time to try out the FAQ 202 or any other Foreo products because they're having some amazing Black Friday sales. You can click the link in the description below and use our code Voyagers35 and you will get 35% off almost all Foreo products. This code is stackable too, so you can actually end up getting up to 50% off of Foreo products. Thank you so much to Foreo for sponsoring today's video.
Oh yeah! Chiude! Molto bello. Grazie, Bradey. Sei il migliore. Forse resta più punta, cazzo che vado via proprio per
Man, look at this. I go away to mix some concrete and I come back and all of these stones are placed between the beams, moving through so fast. And now that the stonework is finished, we just need to shape off the top, adding in concrete in order to create an area that we can place our gutters, because the gutter guy is coming to do his measurement in just a couple of days.
Vai, Ciuda. Di chiudo. Yeah!
so far all of this is pretty straightforward and pretty easy, except for when it comes to working around the chimney stack, as there's one piece of wood that we're gonna have to trace around the stones and cut precisely around the stones. Otherwise it just won't look quite right from underneath. All right, so here's a little bit of interesting information for you. Throughout this entire process, going all the way back to the excavation of this hill, prior to building out any of the stone walls, there's one point that I made sure we did not touch, and that's these stairs right here. You can't tell very much right now because they're covered up in dirt and in grass, but once we get all finished up, I'll uncover them fully. But there are stone steps here that lead from one terrace to the next. Where I'm standing currently was approximately the finished height of the ground before all of the excavation, and what I believe was approximately 700-800 years ago when they built these stone walls, these stone terraces throughout the entire property. They would have built in stone steps into the wall going from terrace to terrace. Now sure, that set of steps is probably the ugliest in terms of the entire property as far as how well they were done. I'm gonna go 2 levels up and show you a better example of the stairs. I'm climbing up one now, but the one I want to show you is right here, and to me it is completely stunning. Yes, I also need to clean out some of the dirt and the grass and make it shine properly as it once did, but I completely love all of the steps that are built into all of these terraces throughout the property, and we really took extra care to make sure that we never touch those and that they're still quite functional. Now that we have the majority of the back half of the wood planks put up, I'm really loving getting to see it from this perspective, from underneath the pergola, seeing the finished look. And yes, during the winter months when the sun is super low as it is, you can tell a lot of the sun still comes in, but this pergola is being built primarily for those summer months when the heat is so intense that it's just unbearable to stay outside for too long, at least for us. In the winter months that we are right now, the heat from the sun is actually quite welcome. All right, so we've just run out of the planks. We're just a few short here. They've run to go grab those, as well as some furring strips. Once we get those last planks in, we need to put up the roofing felt, some furring strips, and then we'll be ready to place the slate, which that's the process that I'm most looking forward to. But I think, I could be wrong, but I think we might have to wait for the gutters to be manufactured first. Yeah, I think those have to go first. All right, so now that all the planks are down, all that's left is the roofing felt and then the furring strips. But by furring strips, it turns out what they use here is the metric equivalent of a 2x4. So all of that huge package of lumber that we unloaded, that's what we're planning to use as furring strips, pretty tightly stacked together because you need one furring strip per row of stones. And there's probably gonna be at least 15, 20 rows of stones. So it's pretty much a non-stop checkerboard of whatever that metric equivalent of a 2x4 is.
Adesso. Aiuto. Vai, Bradey.
Tiro adesso.
Tira. Tira. No, tira.
And with how hot it is today, it's easy to forget that it's actually mid-fall. But let me show you something that I just noticed as I was walking up the stairs here. Just look at how beautiful this is gonna be every time we walk up and down these stairs to the balcony. The view through this pergola here, through this work of art, is just stunning. Carlo has a brilliant idea.
Wow.
See? See, penso passo. All of our scrap wood, we can just toss down the chimney and it'll end up in the fireplace. Bravo, Carlo.
Bella idea.
Eh, sì. All right, well, Carlo and Alessio aren't able to work today. They're off on another job site, so they've given me some homework to do to prepare to place these slates on. I need to get all of the furring strips along the valley-facing side of the roof in order to prep for the slates. And then from there, it's waiting for gutters to go in and then placing the slates themselves. Now, I'm calling these furring strips, but they're basically 2x4s, as I mentioned before, and they do not under-engineer anything in Italy. It's always done so above and beyond to last forever. I think they might have gone a little bit overkill though on these furring strips. It just might have been what they had available at the time, but they work nonetheless. All right, well, that's it for this side of the roof. All of the furring strips are on. For the other side, we have to wait for the gutter guy to come and make his measurements first before we can start laying the furring strips, because on this side, well, it's just a little bit weird with the mountain, the stone wall, and the fireplace. We want to make sure that we're doing things properly. But for now, at least here, we're ready for slate. All right, so this won't be long. We won't take very much time here, but I just wanted to sit down with Heather and answer a couple of questions that are coming up over and over again. Number one right now, why are we prioritizing the sauna and the roof build over other things in the house that probably Heather would prioritize more, such as finishing off the kitchen and a few other things like that? It's primarily to do with we want to take advantage of the beautiful, lovely weather to build these things. The roof in particular is a priority as we're planning out for the summer and all the projects that we need to or want to do underneath that shade, as I got really sick from the heat and the direct sun. We live in very direct sun in this area. There's not an ounce of shade ever anywhere until now.
Yes.
So it's going to be a huge game changer. But the sauna, the reason why we had to prioritize that originally is because we didn't think we could actually get machinery back to that area with using excavators and tractors and whatnot. So as we were planning all of this out, Alessio and I sat down, we made a plan, and we realized even though the sauna is like a dream thing that we wanted to do like 2 or 3 years in the future, we realized that we actually have to push that up on the timeline as a priority, because we wouldn't be able to get big machinery back there, the excavators, the tractors. So we had to make that a priority. Well, until we started doing everything, and then we realized, oh, we actually barely can squeeze the excavator back there, so we could have waited.
Yeah.
But
Oh well.
oh well.
So another question we keep getting is, where is home? And that is a good question.
It's a complicated question.
It is a complicated question, and I think for us, we have 2 homes, and that's sometimes hard to understand. There's a part of us that will always feel at home close to our family back in the States, and there is a part of us that will always be at home here. So the answer is there's no answer.
Yeah.
We have 2 homes.
We just hosted some friends today for lunch. They just left, and I overheard you talking to them about the fact that we've poured so much of ourselves into this property that for the rest of our lives, it will always be home.
Yes.
So the answer is and always will be both.
Yes.
What about the visa situation? So there actually is a visa that's come available that we would be able to qualify for. It's fairly cut and dry, has an extremely high acceptance rate. We're not immediately pursuing that just because we're pretty tired of that, all of that bureaucracy and paperwork.
PTSD from the last time.
Pretty burnt out from that, and we're just enjoying the freedom and flexibility to bounce back and forth as we want to currently. But I do think that we will end up pursuing that or another visa someday in the future. We're just not ready to enter into that process now, as that involves being stuck again, and we just, we'll get there eventually. What can we expect out of videos? So at least for the next calendar year, the majority of all of our videos will come from Italy. There's so many projects. As you see, we're in the midst of some pretty chaotic things. That chaos is especially why you haven't seen as much of Heather and the kids, just because it's a little bit tricky to have the kids around, even
It's
to
not safe,
have Heather around. If you've noticed how small our terraces are, if you walk outside the front door, there could be a tractor or an excavator passing. So as you've seen with the chaos of the last couple of weeks, that's going to continue on for the next couple of months as we build out these larger projects. Then after that, we're going to be focusing on the smaller details of inside of the kitchen. Once we get the main structure of the sauna, the new stone structure in place, we'll probably pause that, because then again, that was always meant to be a someday in the future project. Then we'll switch back and focus on the inside of the house, getting everything nice and tidied up. But for the next year, the majority of the videos that you can expect from our channel will be based here in Italy. But then when we're not here, we're going to be continuing building back in the USA. And we've just wrapped up the designs for that, the blueprints. We've got 3D renders. I don't want to share them with you
I'm so
yet,
excited, though. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be really, really special.
So another question we keep getting is about the girls and their school. And that is a really exciting thing because the girls are in a school right now that is amazing. They are loving it. They have amazing friends and teachers, and
They're both really thriving.
they're really
That's the important
thriving.
part.
Yes. And it's giving us the flexibility to be able to travel when we need to. And I'm kind of partnering with some homeschool on top of it. And it's really, really a good setup for them. And they are thriving.
Can we tour local towns around this area? Yes, we're finally at the point now where we're ready to do that. We're going to start touring towns around Italy as a family, show off the local cities in this valley as well as other surrounding Italian towns. We even have a trip planned up through Christmas markets in Germany and Switzerland. And we've decided to film all of that and make extra videos. But we're not going to put it on this channel. We're going to put it on a separate channel that's more specifically travel focused. We're going to be launching that very, very soon. At the time of recording this, I don't exactly know the exact date. We're figuring this out. We're going to keep this super low stress, not super polished in the editing. Just really want to show you the raw, natural life around this area. And we're excited to launch that very soon. But we're going to leave it here. Tomorrow we're kicking off another chaotic day of lots of progress. We will see you in our next video.